of preparation. Yes, yes. So if you've heard of this, let me know in the comments on this YouTube video because I really, really love this law and I have actually been practicing it without even knowing it. So let's get into it. The law of preparation is when you prepare for something and that thing or that item or that could be something that you want or that could be something that you don't want. It correlates with manifestation because what do we do when we want something or we have a desire to have something in life? We make a vision board like most of us are doing now because the new year will be coming up pretty soon because this is October and November will be here soon, and then December, and then we're looking at January, we're looking at the new year. So 2025 is coming, coming toward us, coming for us. So yeah, we put it into our psyche, we put it into our conscious that this is something that we want, and we do that by using images, using words, phrases. That's something that puts an impression on our mind and it tells us this is something that I want and I'm going to go get it. I'm going to make sure I achieve everything that's on this vision board. At least that's how I do it. And if you look at it, that's preparation. You are putting everything out on this board, on this digital board, if you have a digital one, and you are saying, okay, here's what I need, here's what I want. You are kind of, in a sense, structuring it as well, because some people have their vision board structure. They have their travel dreams on it, they have their home decor dreams on it. So they kind of, in a sense, have it structured. So that's preparation. You are preparing for this home. So for example, let's say, like I just said, you have the home decor on your vision board and you are looking at maybe you want to change the towels of the floors. You want the floors to be a different towel, or you want your floor to be a marble floor. So you are picking out the type of floor that you want for your house. You are picking out maybe the comforter set for your bedroom and the colors of the walls and the stencils on the wall. Maybe you want a different poster on your wall. Maybe you want to add a little fashion to it. You're making it look how you want it to look, and that's preparation. And so, of course, these things are going to come to you because you have prepared for these things to happen. And we do the same thing with things that we don't want to happen. When we, approach that idea, it happens. Like I said, I can't say it any other way. It happens. Me, for example, I remember, I want to say this first before I tell this story. I love my daughter. I love her so much. And I really do love her. And I would do anything for her. And I'm saying that because before I had my daughter, I used to say all the time, I said, I don't know if I want to have children or not. I at least want to have them in the marriage. That's what I kept saying. I want to be married before I have children, and I want to do it the right way. I don't want to have a child out of wedlock. I don't want to, because at the time I was Christian. I'm no longer Christian. I'm not against any religion, though. I accept all religions. I think all religions are unique in their own way. I feel like they all had something to give to the world. It's just that I'm not religious and I've gotten away from religion. I feel like I'm more spiritual. I'm a spiritual person. But I said all that to say I was religious somewhat at the time, and I felt like I don't want to have any children out of wedlock. I don't want to be a single mom or a mom who's single by herself. I just don't want that life for myself. And people would say, oh, how do you know? Anything like that could happen. And so in a sense, I was very impressionable So in a sense, I always kept saying I didn't want it. You know what I mean? And how the law works is the more you focus on something, the more you know, the more it comes to you, if that makes sense. So I always focused on it. I always kept saying that's not something I wanted. And it happened, because I'm a single mother now and I have a beautiful daughter, Zariah. It happened. And like I said, I love my daughter, but that's not what I originally wanted. I wanted a child in marriage, and that's okay, but I feel like that was something I did not want, but it happened because I kept focusing on it. And so, in a sense, I was using the law of preparation. I had prepared for that to happen because it was always on my mind and the thought was there. You see what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. I can also explain this with a situation that something that I did want. Like, for example, with my recent trip to Hawaii, I went to Hawaii for my birthday and it was so beautiful. It was so amazing. I enjoyed myself so much. I took my daughter and I loved it. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. And what I never would have thought, I never would have guessed that I would have been or I would have gone to Hawaii. It just didn't seem like that was true. And it was just something that was on my vision board last year. And I said, you know what? It doesn't feel like that's real. This is a bit outlandish to say I want to go to Hawaii, to say I'm going to go to Hawaii. It just doesn't feel realistic. But even though it didn't feel realistic, I put it on my board anyway because I'm a delusional girl. And delusional girls always get what they want. And I'm going to explain that. Something that I did was law of preparation. I went out and I said, this is something that I want. I want to go to Hawaii for my birthday. I'm going to go out and I'm going to go get a beautiful swimsuit and I'm going to put it into the universe. I'm going to say, hey, I got a swimsuit. So I'm going on this trip. And buying that beautiful swimsuit, I saw this beautiful swimsuit in Walmart and I said, I got to get this swimsuit. It was brand new. It was fresh. It was a new design they just had in Walmart. And I said, I'm getting this swimsuit because it's going to make me feel like I'm going. And it did. It made me feel like I was going. And every time I had it, it was so weird. Every time I had that swimsuit and every time I would try it on and put it on, it felt like I had already been to Hawaii. It really did. I felt like I had already traveled to Hawaii. I felt like I had already been on the plane for 8 hours with my daughter. I felt like I had already met my photographer who did our photo shoot. I felt like I had already been on the helicopter ride, which I did with my daughter. I felt it all whenever I put on that suit and whenever I bought that suit. And then eventually I was able to get my plane ticket for me and my daughter. I was able to get my Airbnb. I was able to book my excursions. And before I knew it, I was going to Hawaii and I went. And I went. Now I can say I've been to Hawaii, but I was saying that I was in Hawaii. I was saying that I am in Hawaii when I had never been. Before I even went, I was saying these things. I was putting it into the universe. I was saying these things. The law could not do anything but happen. I call it the law, the universal law. It was in my favor because I kept on preparing for the trip. And so because I kept on preparing, it said, okay, she has this is hers because she has prepared for it already. She knew that she was going to have this, so we're giving it to her. See how special that is? Oh my God, that's the law of preparation. And it's something that you really need to practice. But we do it all the time, even with the things that we don't want, like I mentioned before. So we put it onto the mind. We put it into, we oil our minds. We oil our subconscious mind with these things without even knowing it. I always say that humans are some of the best, if not some of the greatest manifestors ever, because we manifest things every day without even realizing it. Everything that we have is manifested. Like the camera that I'm on, somebody thought of it. It was in somebody's mind at first. Somebody prepared to create this camera. You see what I'm saying? Somebody prepared to create the what is this? This is my SD reader, my memory card reader. Somebody prepared to create this. It was in their mind at first, and then they prepared by writing the design for it, talking to their colleagues about the project to create this and the camera that I'm filming this on. Somebody prepared to create this design of these fake flowers. They're so beautiful, by the way. They're not real, but they're so beautiful. But somebody did that. That was in somebody's mind at first. So we are some of the greatest manifestors ever. So don't think that you can't have your dream life. Don't think that you can't go on that trip that you've really been wanting to go on. And don't underestimate your power when you don't want something. I'm going to say that again. Don't underestimate your power when you don't want something. Stop focusing on something that you don't want and focus on the things that you do want. That is the key. That is the key.